Kia ora koutou, you've come into Christchurch City Council, and this is Kaharoa Marihira, who among various roles within the council is a volunteer for emergency response. So great to meet you and talk with you, Kaharoa. Tell us a bit about the role that you have as a emergency response volunteer.
Yeah, so I'm currently a squad leader in response team number 10 of Christchurch City Council, and so what that means, essentially what it really means is that I look after some people when we go out and get deployed.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so you have training and things like that, and to make sure you know actually what to do. What does that involve?
So our training is we do lots of training. So one of them is we learn how to carry patients out. We stretch them, lash them onto a stretcher and carry the stretcher out. We also learn how to do four-wheel driving in mud and in rivers and that. Also, some of the other stuff we do is paperwork. I know it's paperwork, but we have to look after people and make sure that their welfare is up to date.
So, you know, you talk about it like it's really exciting and fun, and I'm sure that you have those good times, but there's a serious side to it. And fairly recently, of course, there was the Port Hills fire that you had a bit of a role in. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so a few of the things I had to do in Port Hills fires, number one was look after the residents. So my team was asked to look after the midnight shift. So we had to look after all the visitors who were stranded from their houses. And so we looked after them and fed them and made sure all their information was up to date. Another part was to be part of the helicopter stuff. So we had to help out with the logistics and make sure that the helicopters were safe and the pilots were okay. And then the last one, which was really buzzy, was logistics for an incident control point, where all the firefighters would go from the main part, come to us, and then go out onto the hills and put out all the fires, and we had to make sure that they were safe, that they were going to be where they said they were going to be, and if they were going to change, we made sure that they were changed accordingly. So,
You know, volunteering is such an important part of so many things that we do, from the likes of emergency response to out on the sports field and things like that. It's the backbone of so many different facets of society. There might be some guys here watching that are quite keen to get involved. What sort of things would they need to start thinking about maybe now to maybe get into the role of being a volunteer for emergencies?
A good thing to do is talk to someone in the industry, someone who's already a volunteer firefighter, Māori warden. They're all volunteers, and just see what you can do to help them. And it could be anything. If you're a good sports person, referees, they're volunteers, and supporting that way. That's a good first step and something that you want to do. Emergency response stuff, firefighter, community support, that'll be like community watch. They're good ways to get started and see what you can do as a youth.
I mean, because despite the hours that you put into your training and the nature of what it's like actually responding to an emergency, there must be a real good sense of satisfaction that you've contributed to helping people.
Yeah, definitely. We have been little things that just make your day. I was also part of the Kaikoura earthquake, so
right.
I went out to Waio where the epicenter was, and went out there and got to know the locals really well, to the point on my third day the locals knew me and we were able to call each other by our first names, and driving down the street they'll be yelling out my name, how's everything going, and just being able to have that rapport with them. So that's part of it, being able to go into another area and within a day or two you feel like you're part of that community as well. So yeah, they're part of it, that's part of it.
Well, look, thanks for your time today. It's been so interesting chatting with you, and keep up the good work.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Mamihi.